Hey guys, Dr. Ben here, Functional Medicine Centers of Fort Collins and Phoenix, Arizona. So happy to have you guys on today. We're going to be talking about the ketogenic diet. This is huge because so many people have tried it, so many people are thinking about it, they have friends that tried it, somebody lost 40 pounds, somebody felt sick with it. What is really going on? There's a lot of research coming out, a lot of reports. Is it good? Is it bad? Let's dig into it. So again, what is functional medicine? Functional medicine is about the underlying why. For me, when I start thinking about diet, I have never really sunken into, hey, this is my diet, this is what we do on everybody. Even in my blood sugar book, Blood Sugar Doesn't Lie, I don't have a menu, a meal plan, a diet, anything like that, because it's way more individualized than we've ever known. So, is a ketogenic diet helpful? Is it safe? Is it effective? And so even when I say effective, effective at what? Most people go on a ketogenic diet for what? Go ahead and if you want to put a message in there, you can. But why do most people go on a ketogenic diet? Welcome everybody. Go ahead and also put down where you're watching from. Love to see you guys on here. So why do people go on a ketogenic diet? Well, some it's to what? Lose weight, right? So if any of you are typing in there, lose weight is probably what you were typing. Number two that we'll actually recommend a ketogenic diet is for brain recovery and brain regeneration. So if somebody's had a head injury, if they've had a neurological degeneration, then we'll definitely think about something along those lines. So is keto effective? Is keto going to be a diet that is, hey Kayla, good to see you. Good to see you the other day at Costco. Is keto going to be effective at weight loss? Let's talk about that first. So a ketogenic diet is where people take a high-fat diet, and here's the difference. Because a lot of people do kind of this bastardized ketogenic diet where they just load up on fat, but also on protein. And so most people on a ketogenic diet are doing too much protein. But a traditional ketogenic diet that's going to be helpful for epilepsy, that's going to be helpful for brain regeneration, even some short-term weight loss, you want to be in the somewhere about 70-75% fat coming into the diet. So if you think about that, that's a lot of fat. And so that's where people go, oh, slather with bacon. What are we going to eat today? Bacon wrapped around that, bacon around chicken, bacon around whatever. Well, there's other types of fat and better types of fat out there than bacon. So, ketogenic diet, about 70 to 75% of the diet should be fat. And then what? Well, then we should have maybe about from 20% of that should be coming in from protein, and then the rest should be carbohydrates. Most of that going to be made up from vegetables, from leafy greens, things along those lines. So this is a high-fat diet, moderate protein, and a very low carbohydrate diet. Most people, to get into ketosis, they need to be under 40 grams of carbohydrates, even some down into the 20 to 30 grams per day. How much is that? Well, you look at an apple, and a large apple, like one of the monsters that's coming out, those can have 40 grams of carbohydrates in one apple. So some people eating a whole apple, they could be out of ketosis just by doing that. So this is where it gets pretty challenging, and why for a lot of people it's not sustainable to do forever. Whether it's safe or not, it's just not realistic to go, oh, I'm going to be in ketosis for the next 6 months. Not eating any fruit, eating very low carbohydrates, starches, things like that. Yes, you can get vegetables, but even some vegetables will pump you out of that ketosis range and get you into the range where you're eating too many carbohydrates coming in. So ketosis, 70-75% of that diet fat, but it's a moderate protein, and this is a really important part of it, and where a lot of people go wrong and how it actually can become unsafe is to eat too much protein. So a lot of people, and even way back, if you're old enough to remember Atkins' diet, they went all the way back there and said, hey, Atkins, what are we doing? Well, we're just going to eat a whole bunch of protein, and high protein diet is not really good for most anybody unless you're like a highly trained athlete that's working out extremely hard all the time and breaking down muscle a lot. You really shouldn't be doing a high protein diet. So what do we need to do? Well, if you're going to go into a ketogenic diet, you need to be looking at good quality fats, olive oil. You can get into Avocados, coconut oil, saturated fats are okay. You can use some lard, some ghee, some grass-fed butter. Things like that are going to be great for the fats. But even going more with the olive oils and avocados and some of those things are going to be really good. Not just all animal-based fats. I'm not against lard. I'm not against bacon grease and some of these things. But having a variety of everything is crucial. So we've got to have that good variety and make sure that we're getting a lot of different kinds of fats. Okay, so we've got that. The proteins, 2 to 4 ounces of protein at a meal is going to be a good amount. Not a big 10-ounce T-bone, but 2 to 4 ounces of protein per meal is going to be where you want to get to. And then pretty much as many leafy greens, really, really low carbohydrate vegetables, broccoli, things like that. You can eat those as much as you want. So it's not crazy hard to get in ketosis, and there's actually some benefit to it. So some people will lose weight on a ketogenic diet. And you've probably known some people that lost 30 pounds, 40 pounds, things like that. But not everybody's going to lose weight on a ketogenic diet. So is it effective? Maybe 50-50. Hey Carol, good to see you out there. Hope you are doing well and with your travels back and forth across Nebraska. What we're looking at is it's not going to be effective for everybody. Some people, they're not truly getting to the underlying root cause of what their problems are, and just by changing their dietary process kind of to this extreme swing that way is not going to fix anything. They may have a really low thyroid function. They may have fatty liver going on. They may have some other extreme things that need to be fixed before their body will even think about losing weight, losing fat. So is it effective? Well, for maybe half the people it is, but without addressing the underlying issues that are going on in the body, it's going to be a short-term thing. And so this is where a lot of people will lose weight, and then they'll gain it back and lose weight and gain it back, and like, ooh, I got to get back on ketosis again. It's like, well, you just lost 20 pounds and now you gained it back. Why? Why did you not keep that weight off? And so that's the effective part as well, is that most people that do the ketogenic diet do not keep their weight off. It's not sustainable. It's not real world. You can't do it forever. As soon as they jump off ketosis, they go back to similar habits that they had before, and that weight goes right back up. So then we get into, is it safe? And this is where it really depends on the person. I've had some patients come in and they've lost 30, 40 pounds since last year, and I have last year's blood work, and then they show me this year's blood work. We run it, and guess what? This year's blood work is actually worse than last year. And I've had people in tears in the office because they're like, holy cow, I can't believe that I went through all that work and ate all this, and they're still not any healthier than they were the year before. Because remember, just losing weight doesn't make somebody healthy. We've talked about this last week. Weight is the symptom, it's not the cause of ill health. So just by losing weight does not make somebody healthier, doesn't make their blood pressure go down, their blood sugar get better, any of those things. If you make positive changes other places, then we're going to see those shifts. So is it safe? For some people, especially if they're doing it incorrectly, doing too much protein, it's going to put stress on systems, kidneys, digestive tract. It's just going to sit there long. It can start putrefying. A lot of bad things can happen as we get into this process of eating too much protein. So if you're doing the right amount of fats, good fats, eating sardines, eating the olive oil on everything, putting avocados, things like that, that is going to be really helpful for a lot of different things. But if we go too much, if we go to an extreme, then that's going to be a problem. If somebody is on ketosis for 3, 4, 5, 6 months in a row, you're going to start missing out on key nutrients. Most people do not do enough vegetables on their ketogenic diet, and they're basically a high protein, moderate fat, very low vegetable diet, and not doing that well with it. So we've got to make sure that if you are going to do ketosis, you're going to do it in the right way, the right percentages, and short term. So I usually don't like people to do ketosis more than more than a month at a time. And there's even different regimens out there where you do a cycling ketosis, where you might do 5 days in ketosis, and then on the weekend maybe jump up to 60, 80, 100 grams of carbs, and then get back down into that 20 to 40 range during the week, and do weekends, not binges. And that's another problem that people do, is they're like, oh, I did my ketosis, I'm going to have a cheat day. And what do they have? They have hot fudge sundae, and they have 3 beers, and then da-da-da, and their body just goes bleh, and it's just super inflammation going on in the body. So you've got to do it in a good way. If you do cycle on and off, you've got to still be eating a very healthy, lower carbohydrate, healthy fat, good amount of protein diet. So is ketosis safe and effective? It was kind of a weighted question there, because it depends on the person, depends on what you're doing, depend on what your body type is, what your intention is, all of those things. It can be effective for some people, it can be safe for some people, but it can also not be effective, and it can also be problematic and dangerous for some other people. So if you have questions at all, pop those down below. Thanks for joining in, and share this with anybody that you know that's been on that ketosis roller coaster. And if they've got any questions, give us a holler. All right, everybody, make it a great day. Take care.